Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Jay's Latest. I am your host, Craig Borden. We're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays baseball today, and we're going to go into the rumor mill a little bit before we head to the All-Star game. So, we're also going to talk MLB draft a little bit today. So, anyway, let's talk about the MLB trade rumor fun that is the fun stuff that is going on this time of year. It has been reported that the Blue Jays are actually in and checking in and trying to get Zach Gallen from the Arizona Diamondbacks. So this is interesting for many reasons because Zach Gallen is a potential ace, but he is easily having the worst year of his recent run of dominance in the National League. At the moment, he is barely above replacement level with 115 innings. He's actually has a National League leading 20 starts with a 5.4 ERA. This is coming from a guy that has had shutouts as an all-star, has never had more than a 4 ERA over the last 3 years. He has been the ace of the Arizona Diamondbacks staff and has been very, 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 very damn good. Even in Cy Young conversation when he was an All Star 2 years ago. Um, he it's an interesting one as far as what we're going to have to give up potentially for Zach Gallen. It's his worst season. He's a rental. Is he done? I doubt it. But all these wonderful things are playing into the math that could play in the Blue Jays' favor for a potential trade for the ace. Um, because the other catch is his upside is really, really good. And so, yes, it's going to be interesting, but Zach Gallen has officially been targeted, it sounds like, by the Toronto Blue Jays, and we're hoping to see the best out of that whole thing and watch him become a Blue Jay and then become that ace that we have that we can actually maybe turn around and sign because he's currently 29 years old. And damn, would he look good if he can capture some of that form in Blue Jays blue for the years to come. Um, I do think he'd be a favorite in Toronto too, similar to if he can turn it up and dial it up to David Price level. That would be a very similar 2015 move too. Would be really cool to see Zach Gallen in a Blue Jay uniform. So let's move right along because there's other big news we got to cover today. The Blue Jays have made their first MLB draft pick, and it is the young infielder JoJo Parker, one of two twins that were actually entered into the Major League Baseball draft. His brother Jacob is still currently on the block after the first 30 picks. It'd be too funny if he comes back around and can play with his brother in Toronto. That'd be too amusing because obviously the Blue Jays had the eighth round pick or the eighth pick overall, so they're going to have a pick coming up in the second day here pretty quickly. Um, but on that note, let's talk about JoJo because he is a very interesting young player right out of high school. Both of the brothers, obviously being twins. Um, he was ranked 55 overall out of the 80 scale that they use for draft picks and scouts and all that kind of stuff. He's got some interesting tools as he's basically a very, very well-rounded player. Many people have been saying his hit tool's only going to get better. He makes great contact. The power might come along eventually, but they're projecting him to be more of a 20 home run guy, kind of in the similar fashion of how Bo Bichette was brought up originally as a Blue Jay. It'd be in that same mold and very interesting, good fielder. His hit tool is his best piece to his game at 60 out of the 80 scale. But this is very cool to see an overall great player like this being picked by the Blue Jays first round. And it's interesting in the timing. You pick a shortstop, and you have one of the best shortstop prospects in baseball. It could just be a coincidence, but JoJo Parker is easily the one of the more athletic infielders, and they can't tell if he's going to stick at shortstop, but they are guaranteeing that he's going to be on the infield somewhere. And they also said that he has the arm to be able to handle third. So I thought that was quite interesting as well. So very intrigued, very curious to see where JoJo Parker goes. I think it'd be very, very fun to see him paired up in the infield at some point with Arjun Amala and company. So hopefully things work out and they get to keep doing that. So, Blue Jays were targeting a couple pitchers that actually also went quick in the draft. So that was interesting to see them go. And obviously, where the Blue Jays pivoted to Ethan Holiday being the other big name from the first few rounds. Obviously, brother of Matt Holliday and everybody, all the Hallidays. Baseball is clearly the business of the Matt Holliday family tree. But very very cool to see JoJo Parker become a Blue Jay yesterday. So, anyways. Let's talk to the crazy that happened in Sacramento yesterday because this was just, yeah, keyword crazy. Um, Blue Jays could not get to Jacob Spring or Jeffrey Springs, I mean. So it was very hard to watch yesterday. They could just not topple him at all, only allowing 3 hits. He gets up 2 home runs to the Blue Jays, those being the only big runs, obviously, at all. 5 Ks. Just he was mowing through the Blue Jays. Blue Jays didn't even get enough base runners to even record a runner in scoring position. So that's the kind of day that we had. Meanwhile, the Sacramento A's turn around and beat up on Jose Barrios in 3 innings, allowing 5 hits, 4 earned runs, which included 2 home runs. And what is it? Anderson wins. Eric Kurtz and Austin wins. That's what it was. Both being the home runs for the A's. Soderstrom got in there too. That guy's got a freaking stick. But the home run ball beats the Blue Jays yesterday. Some errors didn't help. All fielding errors for Tommy Nance, Addison Barger on a throw, and funny enough, Miles Straw actually collecting his first error. That's 2 days in a row. The Blue Jays had 3 errors. I know they were all charged to the day before to Tyler Heineman. Hopefully, that's not the yips we're going to continue heading into, and I'm going to blame the wonderful ballpark accommodations in Sacramento in a minor league ballpark. Hopefully some rest here will get them going. If that doesn't get them going, the Davis Schneider, John Schneider, crazy from yesterday, should get them going. If you missed this, Davis Schneider hits a ball that should probably have been a home run. Looks like it went over the foul pole and around it, not blatantly foul like it sounds like. The challenge was, put in place. Came back from New York. Call on the field stands a foul ball, meaning they didn't have quote unquote enough evidence to overturn it. So more reasons that playing in a minor league baseball team's amenities suck, because obviously it was one of those things where they didn't have a great third base line camera or whatever, and John Schneider was livid. He was literally taking this argument, trying to basically stalk the third base ump to who kept walking away. Oddly, I've never seen anything like this as far as an ejection goes. Usually, the umpires get right into it with the person, whoever that might be. The crew chief, being the home plate umpire, literally holding John Schneider back along with Feebles and company. And it was just crazy. Like I said, this is an ejection I haven't seen, but I love the passion that the Blue Jays were at the time down considerably in this game, and no sign of a reprieve in sight except for that home run that could be, it should have been. Meanwhile, after John Schneider finally exited stage left field, Davis Schneider literally takes that next pitch deep to left center field. So it was very cool to see Davis Schneider one up that thing after all that, with all the emotion and everything going back and forth on the field. Davis did Davis things and collects his 5th home run of the season on the second pitch of the at bat. Fast forward a couple innings, the Blue Jays did try making a comeback at the end of this whole thing. After finally getting the Springs again, Addison Barger hits a blast for like 440 feet. It is his 13th of the season, driving in Vlad Guerrero Jr., who had just hit a single on a rope in the center field. It felt like there was something brewing. It really did. But at the end of the day, the brewing did not go fully all come back, and the Blue Jays do fall off short of this one in the last 6-3 to end their first half of their season, 90 games in. Blue Jays finished the first half 55-41, still in first place by 2 games ahead of the New York Yankees. All things good at the moment. Hopefully, that's only the second series we've lost in a while. Philadelphia Phillies being the last. Oh, no, sorry. The White Sox being the last. Not the most recent time, but the time before that. So it's been a bit nice to see the Blue Jays keep winning series, but this one was obviously the exception to that rule. And we're going to head hot into the All Star break here. So we'll keep things moving. So, All Star break, All Star break, All Star break. Home Run Derby starts tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a cast of new characters in the Home Run Derby this year. I'm looking forward to actually seeing this because these are some really fun names here if you're a baseball enthusiast. Cal Riley being the biggest of those names. Blue Jays fans know him all too well, and seeing he always finds a way to mash us. O'Neill Cruz of the Pittsburgh Pirates, James Woods, the rookie phenom for the Washington Nationals, Matt Olson replaced Ronald Acuna Jr. in the home run derby. Brent Rooker, who we just saw way too much of, by the way. Brian Bruxton will be in there. Jazz Chisholm, that one just seemed odd to me, but fine, sure. Bring the torpedo bat. Hope for the best. And Junior Caminaro might be the dark horse of this home run derby. I'm gonna go. I'm putting my money on Caminaro because that boy can just hit the ball hard. So we'll see what happens tonight, and we'll be back here to talk Blue Jays rumors and whatnot in a very brief show before the All Star game tomorrow. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.